Hopefully you made it through 4th of July weekend. A long weekend for some. Lots of things that were done, I'm sure. Baseball, and we did the shooting range with family and friends. Meantime, it's Livin Live. LivinLiveLive.com. From the Redline Computer Studios in West Billings. The Boston Goodwill Store. All kinds of blinds and billings. All kinds of blinds. MT.com. Our temperature check is 60 degrees. About 80 today in the complete forecast. That I think you'll like for the next 5 to 7 days. That is on the way for you. LivinLiveLive.com. Accesses to our YouTube channel there. Also, the TuneIn smartphone app. Your smartphones. Glad you're here. America's birthday in the books. The fireworks display up at Castle Rock in the Heights and Billings. Spectacular. Thousands. Tripled, just about tripled the population of Laurel, Montana for the fireworks day celebration. 4th of July celebration in Laurel, Montana. The biggest in the state of Montana every year. A huge hit yesterday, so good work. Happy birthday, America. A day later. Welcome. Back to the grind here. LivinLargeLarry.com. All kinds of blinds and billings. All kinds of blinds. MT.com for a variety of blinds. Vertical blinds, the rooming shades, the mini blinds, and ask about repair as well. All kinds of blinds and window film for security. All kinds of blinds. All kinds of blinds. MT.com. There's a new real estate agent in your neighborhood, Amber Gustavus with Century 21 Hometown Brokers. Call Amber for a free market analysis. 406-690-5902. Amber Gustavus with Century 21 Hometown Brokers. Get you caught up on the Billings Morning News coming up here at LivinLargeLarry.com. Also, a detailed short work weeks forecast coming up for you.
Jay Johansson with us, the Athlete's Foot, 3839 Grand Avenue in Billings. The Athlete's Foot, Jay.
We also got the Jordans. I'm talking about the Jordans that everyone's waiting to get. In my store right now, in my case, are the French Blue 12s.
Jay, the Athlete's Foot in Billings is the Jordan King.
Oh, yeah, it's the truth. It's the truth. I was just telling another one of your friends that not only we're a hip store that services the community. You got that?
Yeah.
We're a hip, family-owned shoe store that if you just need great shoes, come see us. If you need the best shoes, come see us. If you need the shoes no one else has, and I'm talking no one living largely, as you know.
Yeah.
I'm talking no one in Billings. I'm talking no one in Denver. No one in Minneapolis. No one in Seattle. We got it because my big brother, my owner, Intersport, check them out, largest sporting good company store in the world. They got us the account. We're number one.
I wear the books. I wear the Jordan. My family shops the Athlete's Foot, 3839 Grand Avenue. Jay, thank you very much, sir.
Hey, Livin Large Larry, keep it up. You need great shoes, you know where to come. 3839 Grand Avenue, the Athlete's Foot.
And the Athlete's Foot on Facebook, too. Don't forget about Facebook. The Athlete's Foot on Facebook.
The Athlete's Foot, Billings MT. Check us out. Peace.
Livin Large Larry Live from the Redline Computer Studios next to the Dollar Tree off of King Avenue West in Billings, Montana. This is Livin Large Larry Live.
We'll have a recorded visit from late last week with Taylor Brown over at Network. A very important irrigation meeting, farmers and ranchers. Follow for that coming up. You're LivinLargeLarry.com. Livin Large Larry Live, the show from Redline Computer Studios, West Billings, off of King, and 29th West, next to the Big Wave Car Wash is where our studios are at. Every day we're YouTube Live at LivinLargeLarry.com. That becomes a podcast. You get a podcast file of YouTube videos there on your smartphones. Thanks for checking us out on the TuneIn smartphone app. All kinds of blinds and billings. All kinds of blinds. MT.com. Quick temperature check in 60 for now. And our forecast from Top Sandwich Company in Billings across from Shopco off of King Avenue West. And delivery, free delivery, even one sandwich. Try one sandwich delivery in catering at Top's Sandwich Company across from Shopco in Billings. Between 80 and 90, and I'm looking long range here, the next 5 to 7 days, and the typical afternoon, late afternoon, evening. Thunder showers, thunderstorms on the forecast through about this next Tuesday anyway. Top Sandwich Company across from Shopco and Billings brings you our forecast at livinlargelanguage.com. You can look at an expanded look. Click on the weather tab at the website, livinlargelanguage.com. Top Sandwich Company, happy hour Monday through Friday, 5 to 8 p.m. All sandwiches are $5 at that time. Tops Sandwich Company. Big Wolves sponsor for the playoffs coming up on Saturday at Ringlock Auto Arena. And we'll look into the Billings Morning News. We gather our news stories for getting started from KTBQ.com, Colorado.com, also the Billings Gazette, the Times, Ed King's Last Best News. We'll round up we have for the 4th of July weekend, a few stories to get you going here. Sport coming up, livinlargelanguage.com from the Redline Computer Studios in about a minute. Another great experience, my wife and I, at N2 Cryotherapy, 805 24th Street West, Suite number 4, over the weekend. We go probably twice a month on average, and you can actually enjoy and take advantage of what N2 Cryotherapy is all about twice a day, actually. N2cryo.com. If you've heard us talking about cryotherapy and what it's all about, log on to N2cryo.com for a brief history as to what cryotherapy is all about, and more importantly, what N2 Cryotherapy here in Billings is all about. And Cindy Graff and her crew are very good at servicing athletes in forms of N2 Cryotherapy. Again, 805 24th Street West, Suite number 4, N2cryo.com. Get a new summer look at Jim and Austin's Barbershop, 2225 Main Street in Billings Heights. $10, 10 minutes, each haircut. Jim and Austin's Barbershop, 2225 Main Street in Billings Heights. A proud supporter of the Billings Wolves. No disrespect to the industry, but there seems to be coupons for everything. And you want the real coupon magazine, Hometown Values coupon magazine. A coupon book you can read, and practical couponing. Hometown Values, check them out. Different Hometown Values magazines for each part of the city. Hometown Values, Billings and Laurel. Log on to myhometownvalues.com.
Livin Large Larry live from the Redline Computer Studios next to the Dollar Tree off of King Avenue West in Billings, Montana. This is Livin Large Larry live.
A first look at the news happening the long holiday weekend. 3 dogs were killed in a house fire late on Saturday night. The Billings Fire Department Fire Marshal Mike Speedy said responding to a fire at a home on Washington Street happened about 8 p.m. on Saturday night. Speedy said the fire caused smoke damage throughout the home and moderate fire damage to a bedroom. He said the home was occupied at the time and he was injured. The 3 dogs died as a result of the fire. The fire caused, as you know, about a $15,000 damage there. Speedy said the cause of the fire is under investigation. Shepherd Volunteer Fire Department crews responded to a brush fire on Alkali Creek Road just off Highway 3 in the morning on the 4th, July 4th, around 3:30 in the morning. Those fire crews were called to help out the flames there. We arrived on scene before 4. The fire was mostly contained. There were just a few spot crews working on mopping up. And the Shepherd Fire Department said they had to call an aid from the Billings Fire Department. The terrain was tricky for crews because they were along deep drop-offs and thick brush. Very hard to access there off of Alkali Creek Road. The fire was contained yesterday morning, 4th of July, and we went into details on what caused the fire. A nearby resident apparently called 911 after noticing the fire. She believes it was started by lightning, is her speculation. And the Billings man was transported to the hospital on Monday after he crashed a stolen motorcycle in the West End. A 33-year-old man was injured July 4th when he crashed on the 2900 block of Gable Road near Canyon Creek Brewery about 5:30. His name is not being released. Village Police Sergeant Brandon Brewery said he ran the VIN number and found that the bike had been reported stolen. The man's injuries are unknown, but Willie said he was conscious when police arrived on scene. Willie said excessive speed is a factor in the crash. That crash is also under investigation. And the woman man accused in a fatal shooting last October was arrested in the midst of that investigation for drug-related crimes. The police either did not suspect him at the time or not yet completed the murder investigation. investigation. Garrett Crandall is 28. He is at this time being held at the Yellowstone County Jail on $500,000 bond. He faces a charge of deliberate homicide for the death of Clinton Oldbull, who was shot and killed at an apartment on North 24th Street in downtown Billings. 2 months prior to his arrest from the murder, Crandall was booked to the jail on drug-related charges. He later posted bond and now has been arrested as in the Yellowstone County Detention Center. Story of law. Billings Morning News. From the Rimrock, the Redline Computer Studios in West Billings, the day after the 4th of July. So short work week for you. All kinds of blinds in Billings. Quickie temperature check now, 60. Nice morning, actually. Very nice. Very nice. Expect some thunder showers later on this afternoon and tonight. And the complete forecast at livinlarge.com. All kinds of blinds, mt.com. Carrie's Massage. Yeah, new place for a massage. Carrie's Massage. Check her out. And she's at 928 Broadwater, Suite number 204. Been open for a couple of months now and offering great services. Swedish, deep tissue, hot stone, prenatal massage. Not every massage therapist does prenatal massage. Carrie's Massage does. And if you're a new customer, and you get $10 off any offer, any service that Carrie's Massage has available for you. Carrie's Massage, you can check them out on Facebook, and the walk-ins you can find 928 Broadwater, and going Suite number 204 for Carrie's Massage. $10 off.
Livin Large Larry live from the Redline Computer Studios next to the Dollar Tree off of King Avenue West in Billings, Montana. This is Livin Large Larry live.
One of our file stories from Bobby Gray from all kinds of blinds. We try to play at least one of his stories a couple times a month. And we have an archive of Bobby Gray stories from all kinds of blinds. As you know, all kinds of blinds. M2.com, our temperature check sponsor, at livinlargelarry.com. That is coming up here the day after the 4th of July. I hope you're managing your morning, getting back to the grind here. Our replay of segments on livinlargelarry.com on the show from Keystone Mortgage Company here in Billings, to purchase, refinance, investment properties, and a brand new place to call home for work. Keystone Mortgage downtown now, across from the pub station, 2442 First Avenue North. You can find them on Facebook. Type in the keyword Keystone Mortgage Company. You aren't just a number, you're our number one priority. I think you'll love the changes at Keystone Mortgage.
Livin Large Larry live from the Redline Computer Studios next to the Dollar Tree off of King Avenue West in Billings, Montana. This is Livin Large Larry live.
Redline Computer Studios, Livin Large Larry live, livinlargelarry.com. We're on YouTube this morning live. That becomes a podcast in just a little bit here. And Bobby Gray with all kinds of blinds. Nice. Bobby was telling me, which we'll get to, Bobby was telling me the story of, well, his latest story, and it has nothing to do with water or on any ocean, which we'll get to in a second. But how have things been going with all kinds of blinds this summer?
It's going good. We've been busy. I've seen quite a increase in motorization.
What does that mean?
That means your blinds can be run from a remote control, motorized. You can even have it set up with the fanciest is that you can run it from your iPhone.
Now, do you guys program those accessories yourself through all kinds of blinds?
If you're doing your regular remote controls, maybe it's a wall switch or a regular like a TV remote,
sure.
Or you can have a timer where it wakes you up in the morning instead of an alarm, your blinds open, that kind of thing. It comes pre-programmed from the factory. it's not hard to reprogram it. It's a little more difficult for somebody my age, but
kind of like programming the new thermostats that are out, possibly.
Yeah, it's like that. All the way to it integrated into your smart home, where you can program it to, say, in the afternoon when the sun is coming across, you can have it where your blinds come down to a certain point or all the way, and they have light sensors, and then it might adjust your internal lights and air conditioning or heating, depending on the time of year, to keep the same efficient level of energy use in the house. And that I work with another company who's the techie people who set up smart homes. And so when somebody wants that, then I work together with another company.
But our resource will be through all kinds of blinds.
Yes, and currently I'm working with CK Tech, and they're a really knowledgeable group of people. The owner and his wife work together, but he worked for the government installing, fixing, modifying electronics on our spy planes. So if he can figure that out, he can
figure anything out.
So motorization has been very popular. I can even got a plantation shutter that's motorized with a solar panel. And so then you have, instead of having to run hardwire electricity, you have a battery tube of rechargeable AA's, and then there's a small, maybe, it's probably about 10 inches long by 2 inches wide, solar panel that can be mounted in the window.
And how long have you been doing motorization for your blinds? Just recently? Is that new this year?
No, that's probably been 10 years maybe.
But you're just getting an influx right now.
I'm just now seeing the influx of it. Done a few houses in the last couple of weeks, in between the trip.
The travels?
But, and then was at a Home Builders Association meeting last night and had more than one person inquiring, and they were surprised, as you are, that I've been doing motorization. They thought that there was one company in town that knew how to do it, and I'm like, well, I've been doing it for close to 10 years.
Is that a competitive market in the Billings market, motorization for Billings?
I don't think it's competitive. It's just becoming more popular. The Parade of Homes is gearing up, and I'm doing at least 2 or 3 parade homes this year with the blinds, and there's been a lot of talk about motorizing part of the project. The problem is it does cost a little more.
Sure, yeah. Technology does.
So when somebody's building a house, the last thing they thought about budgeting is their window treatments. It's the very last thing.
Well, I would budget my blinds and go through all kinds of blinds, but I don't think that my mindset would be on motorization until now.
Yeah, it's really cool. You have no strings, no cords, none of that. You can be sitting there, you're going to go sit down and watch some TV, and you can just reach over and hit a button, and all the blinds close, and then you grab your other remote and start watching your football game or whatever. So it's pretty neat. You have less mechanical problems because you're not having the strings and cords that would typically break, that you're pulling on to open and close them. Your cats aren't eating them up.
Right.
I had a job yesterday. It was very difficult because there were 2 cats that were, there was catnip laying all over the place. So they were like they were on meth or something.
Yeah,
they were acting really freaky. And they were jumping in the air, leaping off the couch, attacking the cords while I was installing. And then even one of them came up and was stealing my brackets. So when I got to the end of the job, I was short 2 brackets and just searched the house, and I still never found them. They were grabbing the brackets, but the cats will destroy your blind cords, and then they break. So motorization is kind of cool.
I've often wondered, since I've known you, Bobby Gray, all kinds of blinds. What kind of blinds do you have in your house? Like in the living room? Do you
have cordless honeycomb pleated type shades in my living room.
Do you show off different blinds in your home, like in your bedroom? Do you have something different in the living room?
Not really. The bathroom really amazing with plantation shutters. A white plantation shutter against maybe some white tile and a clawfoot tub or something. It's incredible. So that's what I did in our master bathroom. The rest of the house I did the honeycomb pleated shades. But what I did was I used 3 different manufacturers mixed in my house with different features and options in my own home. And part of it was so that I could check it out and be a little bit more accurate when I'm with a customer and they're going, well, this is important to me. I can go, well, let's go with this company because I've got those in my house, and they typically don't do that problem, or they're really good at, like one company, when you're looking at the cordless, they've got a different technology they've patented, and the way in which it works is different, so you pick it up and it's just like butter. It just is beautiful. Where another company might have more selection of fabrics, but it doesn't work quite, it's a little rough.
Sure.
So I just went ahead and just put an assortment of 3 different companies throughout my house, and I now, for what I want, wish I had stuck with all one company instead of the other. For the smoothness, I like to be able to reach over and move the blind, and it just is smooth.
At least you know, though. So, I mean, as the owner of all kinds of blinds, testing different manufacturers when you go out and upsell or sell to customers the right one that fits their home.
Right. And I manufactured them for over 20 years. I know a whole lot about the mechanisms and what's important so they're not going to wear out. And they all, any that you do, I don't care who it is, you'll have certain, every now and then you get a batch that's a lemon, and you've got to go through a lot to try and deal with the customer who's frustrated, and I'm frustrated because I've got a lemon batch, but it doesn't matter who it is, that can happen. The one with the cats is actually a whole set of blinds I was giving her to replace the old ones.
Because the cat has to work properly.
No, she didn't have the cats then. Then it was just a lemon batch that didn't work right. But the trick is to get back there and take care of it as quick as you can. And I do that. I do a lot of jobs. I can't say that there's probably been 2 in the last year that just went sideways, and I did everything I could, and the customer was still unhappy with me. And I tried my best. But the more you can find out about the company that made them and how they're going to handle the repair helps, because it all looks like I'm the one who is not getting the job done when I'm waiting on the company. But if you go through a box store, then there isn't anybody fighting for you. You end up with a batch of blinds you can't open, or they're stuck halfway up and crooked, and they're not cheap. And you've gone through all the trouble of picking out the colors and getting them all in, and then they kind of don't work right. So you want somebody local to be able to go to bat for you and take care of it. If I can't fix it, which usually I can because I used to make them, so I know how to fix them if I know how to make them.
Do you ever act as an interior designer, decorator, with your experience? You go to a new house and have that homeowner that doesn't quite know what he or she wants in the living room or the kitchen or leading out to the back porch.
Yeah, I do. I'm not. I definitely say I'm not trained in it, and I'm not licensed in it. I'm not a designer.
Right.
But I've worked with a lot of designers who would design this house with their furniture and their window treatments and everything, and they would buy from me, even though they could buy them. They're artsy people, but they're not techie people, or mechanical-minded. So then they would buy them through me, and so I'd listen and pay attention when they're sitting there picking out the colors with the customer, and I'm just kind of the Wikipedia guy standing there waiting for them to ask me a question about, can I put that there? And so I've learned a lot. I try to dress pretty basic, jeans and a white shirt I can't miss.
Sure.
I'm not really good at it, but I do know certain themes of how to put the colors together and how they do it, and what to do when in doubt and you don't have any idea. So I do a bit of that, yes.
Well, you used the word efficiency the first part of our talk today, and I think that a lot of people are efficiency-minded, and if I had you in my home and we were discussing blinds, knowing your experience, I think I'd ask you for advice more than once on color, on efficiency of the sun in the living room at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I think I would ask those questions. I think as a consumer, we would ask the experts.
Yeah, and you can go to my website, allkindsofblindsmt.com, and go to some links on there, and there's my suppliers. Some of them have done a huge amount of energy, work, money in staging different views, different kitchens with pictures and blinds in different living rooms, and you can go through and get ideas of how to put colors together. And then there's a new, I don't know what you call it, I'm older, I don't know what it is, but it's called Houzz, Houzz, and it's kind of a mixture of Facebook and Yellow Pages and everything all tied together, but you can go on there and put in whether it be backyard furniture to kitchens, bathrooms, related to woodwork, cabinets, anything. And it is a massive amount of beautiful pictures and ideas. And when you go and pull up a picture, and it's a living room and it has a TV and a couch and whatever, it will tell you what color the paint is in that picture.
Oh, right, okay.
So then you can go and duplicate those pictures for and get your own vision. And then you can click on the pros near me, and like I'm on there.
Right.
And so then it can click to who can help you accomplish that picture. And so it might mention all kinds of blinds, could do the window treatments, and it might mention a furniture store in town that carries that furniture that's in the picture.
And that's cool. That's helpful to me as a consumer.
Yeah, so that's a way to, as far as the design idea,
right,
putting colors together, you can go to something like Houzz.
Houzz.
Yes.
.com.
And then you can get an app for your phone. I have an app on my phone, and you just hit it and you go straight into Houzz, and you can sit there. You could be in a store getting ready to buy something and pull up Houzz and walk through Hobby Lobby and go, oh, there's that rooster ceramic thing in the picture, I need that, and duplicate high-end designer stuff off of your phone.
Well, it might not be for everybody, but the way you described it, that's something that because I don't like the anxiety of trying to piece everything together when I move into a new home, so that would be a great tool for me, I think, personally.
Yeah, I can't do it. But if you're talking about putting blinds for what the need and what color, I can help with that. If you want to take it further, then I pull up my app and say, hey, you should check this out.
That's a tool. It becomes a tool for your customers too. So all kinds of blinds. In Billings, all kinds of blinds. MT.com. Bobby Gray with us. A recent adventure. We didn't talk about Bobby Gray's adventures in his past, usually in the sea, the open sea. But let's talk about this ginormous motorhome you bought and how that all thing came to be.
This story isn't as interesting as
I heard the first part. I think it is
going out on a sailboat in the middle of the ocean, but I call this a land yacht instead of a yacht on the sea.
Pretty much.
And we were shopping for a fifth wheel RV, and for our budget, we don't have a big budget. We're trying to find one with a bunkhouse in the back for the kids.
Sure.
And drove to Helena, Bozeman, shopped, and they're pretty ratty. The decals peeling off and stuff. And we had heard that if you go east, like way east, the prices are a lot better. And there's people who will go out to Wisconsin and buy a motorhome and then bring it back and make money. And so we went, what the heck, and started shopping on Craigslist in Illinois and Michigan and Ohio and stuff, and my wife found one on eBay, which I've never bought anything on eBay in my life.
Sometimes it's scary on eBay.
And all of a sudden I'm buying a expensive RV. And so we just loaded up in my pickup truck and very abruptly took off and drove to Sterling, Virginia, which is about 10 minutes from Dulles Airport in Washington, D.C.
A 2-3 day drive maybe?
It was a 4-day drive.
Okay.
It's 2,200 miles one way. So we went for it. And an adventure going out. I don't get speeding tickets. And my truck doesn't go 80 miles an hour.
What kind of truck is it?
It's a GMC Duramax diesel.
So it hauls this big motorhome.
Yeah, and I pulled livestock trailers.
Okay.
I've always dabbled in cows and pigs and things. And I mean, it'll go the speed limit, but I don't want to push it. It's got 240,000 miles. Anyway, so we head out there. We get there. We go, this thing looks like a good deal, so I buy it. I pull out into rush hour Washington, D.C. traffic with this 38-footer behind me and in my old truck. And there's no brakes, no brake lights, and no turn signals, and we're in. And there's if you leave, there's construction is all over our freeways here.
Right.
The president created jobs by hiring a bunch, by dumping $1 billion into building roads, and that's his trick, if you will. So everywhere you go, you're dealing with barricades.
Now you're in a strange location,
and barricades everywhere with this giant RV. And it's
you mentioned it's 38 foot?
Yes.
Okay.
And they don't get much bigger than that for a fifth wheel. And so we ended up finding a mechanic, and it was just a computer module in my truck, and they fixed that. It wasn't the RV. And then we took off, and we get to Ohio, and then when I'd set up the RV the night before, the front, they call it landing gear, the electric jacks that go down, had sunk. Even though I put a block down, they had sunk down into this soft sod.
Even on the block?
Yes, the whole thing sank down, so when I went to try and raise them, I couldn't get it high enough to get back onto my truck. And so we had a little bit of a drama there. And then we decided that I would never go back to Chicago ever again in my whole life, because we came through it going there. The traffic is so bad that you can't even comprehend it. The murder rate is higher than Afghanistan and Iraq combined. You hear about Chicago, today there were probably 6 people murdered and 57 people injured by gunfire.
On Father's Day in Chicago, 13 people died. Killed.
It's incredibly bad now, and it's like a war zone. We're driving through, and so anyways, I swore I wouldn't go there, and if you look on a map, almost all major freeways in that part of the country head there. It looks like an old wagon wheel, because it all goes to Chicago. So we headed up through Michigan and went over the top of Lake Michigan to the Upper Peninsula of Mackinac, and that was beautiful. And then I'm coming down through right as you get to Green Bay. We're in a hurry, and I don't know if people have diesel trucks here, know that you go to the green pump.
Yeah.
That's the diesel.
The green handle pump is always diesel. Yeah.
Yes. Well, we pull in, and we've discovered that in Michigan, Ohio, Wisconsin,
the Midwest,
they're yellow.
Okay.
Well, I'm pulling in. We all need to go to the bathroom. We hurry up and trying to park this big thing to get gas, diesel. I pull up to the pump. I'm like with my wife. I'm like, okay, where's the green pump? Oh, there it is. Pull up real quick. Okay, well, BP is a gas station.
Yeah, not from BP, yeah.
Okay, well, BP, their logo is green, so all their pumps are green, except for the diesel pumps, which are yellow. And so I pull in real quick, hurry up and swipe my card, stick the thing in to fill my truck.
The green-handled pump.
Green-handled. We go in, use the bathroom. By the time I come out, it's done pumping, pull it out, get and drive off. And we get about 10 miles away, driving down the freeway with this big RV, and we lose power and go off the side of the road. And it's a sheer drop-off one direction, and my truck, we're barely off the road, and it's a Sunday. And in the Midwest, everybody's into car racing, and there was a big car race last Sunday, Michigan something. And so I think it might have been a 500. Nobody wanted to come and tow us off the freeway. I was with Good Sam's on the phone with 2 bars on my phone, and eventually Good Sam's gave up, and they couldn't tow me. And that's like AAA. And so they told me to call 911 before I became a 911 incident, because we're on the side of the freeway.
Of course you are, yeah.
Really close. And so then I called the police and immediately told them, I'm sorry, I'm not a 911, I'm not an emergency, but I'm going to be soon. And so then the police came, and my wife and kids got a ride in the back of a police car, and they towed our rig in my truck, and we got it fixed, and they dropped the fuel tank and cleaned it up, and there was no harm done, so we were blessed there that we didn't lose our engine.
So all the handles were green except one yellow, which was the diesel. MVP.
Well, actually, there was more than one yellow. You'll see maybe 2, 3, or 4 pumps have some diesel, maybe the end pumpers.
Right.
So it was just swapped. And so I didn't pay attention. I was stupid. When you're dumb, you got to be tough. And I've learned that a long time ago, and I was dumb. And so, anyways, that was a little bit. It's not as fun as stories on the sea, but
you said that twice now, and I'm sorry. Every story now, even off of the water, I'm like stressed out right now. I'm like rigid.
No, that's exciting.
You got a silly speeding ticket in Fargo.
Yeah, well, North Dakota. How fast are you going? I'm curious.
Well, I was going like 68. Okay, my truck, I told you, I wasn't going the speed limit.
You're hauling your motor home.
So 4,500 miles of driving last 2 weeks, and I was under the speed limit 98% of the time because my truck and this rig couldn't go that fast.
Well, what is the speed limit in North Dakota?
It's 75 or something, but we pull in right in the center city part to get fuel, and then I pull out, and there's this long on-ramp that goes downhill, and I'm like, cool, I can get up to speed without
I'm feeling you.
So I get up to speed, and I pull out on the freeway, and then right there, there's a highway patrol sitting under the bridge. I was able to be speeding for the 2% of the trip that I was able to reach the speed limit. Happened to be right then when there was a highway patrol.
He nailed you.
Yeah, he was very nice. He didn't, I don't think he believed me when he asked where we were going. I've got Chinese adopted children in the backseat, handicapped, and so it's a little bit eclectic, my world.
Sure.
And then we're sitting there, this old couple with these little kids, and where are you going? Oh, we're driving out to D.C. to buy an RV. And he's looking at me like, yeah. But he was nice, and we paid the ticket online, and it was only $45. It wasn't drama.
Yeah.
But anyways,
That's reasonable.
Of all that, and he swore I didn't have a seatbelt on, and I don't like seatbelts, but I actually did have one on that day. But when you should wear seatbelts,
He didn't believe you?
No, he said, I saw you didn't have a seatbelt on. I said, I did have a seatbelt on.
You weren't hooked in when you came in the car?
No, I was still hooked in. I still had it. He said, well, I think you hooked it after. So anyways, he let it go. He said, well, my eyes must have played. Wow. It's true. When I grew up, seatbelts weren't even in cars.
Well, they were with me.
Have them.
They were in cars when I was growing up, but people didn't use them.
Right. There was a lap belt, like
Yeah, lap belt.
and that was it. I know when you come home with your newborn, for me, your kids weren't in car. You laid your baby on the seat next to you.
I feel naked without a seatbelt on now, I'll be honest with you.
It makes me crazy. The thing is making me. So anyways, I wear it as much as I can.
You should wear it more, but...
Yeah, I should. I agree.
So to me, that's an all kinds of blinds adventure off the water. So.
We left calling it an adventure. I'm like, Lana, let's just do an adventure. We need an adventure. Let's just go for it. Whatever it is, if we break down, they'll tow us, and we'll pull out a credit card. We'll be fine.
Did you guys go home after your adventure, after the Chicago story and the D.C. deal? Did you get home and think about, that was an adventure?
Yeah, and then every night I'm on my laptop after the kids are down looking at sailboats and other people who are posting videos of cruising in exotic locations, because there's blogs out there.
Oh, what's wrong with that?
Well, it's not good for me to be thinking like that because I can't afford to just leave my business and go cruising in the world. So,
Isn't there an off season to all kinds of blinds? Is there an off season for blinds? Or not?
yeah, it slows down
February?
the Christmas time, December, January, February.
Well, that's when we'll hit the open seas then.
Yeah, we went down to Cancun last year, and we're going to Belize this year.
Perfect. So you have another adventure coming up.
Yes.
All right. That was cool. All kinds of blinds. MT.com. Bobby Gray. Good stuff.
Thank you.
I'm just curious about something because I replay your talks with me. Just on this talk when I'm curious.
I'm scared to find out.
No.
A while.
Well, yeah, you pay for this, so it doesn't matter. 20s. You and I talked for about 28 minutes. Thanks for your time.
And I had my Vanuatu naked native story already, too.
No, see, but you come every 2 or 3 weeks, so that story can wait till next time. Okay, fair enough. Bobby Gray, all kinds of blinds, MT.com. What a character, Bobby Gray. Owner of all kinds of blinds in buildings, all kinds of blinds, MT.com. Our quickie temperature check, 61, about 80 today. We're going to check in on the week's worth of a forecast and more of the buildings we news the day after the 4th of July. Hope you're getting back into the swing of things this morning. It seems everywhere you look there's values, there's coupons for this, coupons for that. But if you want the true value, get Hometown Values. Get it, well, it's mailed to your home. Thousands get the Hometown Values magazine, and it is the real size of the magazine. It's not the size of the palm of your hand. And look through it. Practical items, Hometown Values for each section of our area. Hometown Values, Billings and Laurel. It's probably on your counter right now, by the way, or your mailbox. Log on to myhometownvalues.com. All day to feel like Monday to you, but it's Tuesday. The short work week if you're working Monday through Friday, that is. So it feels like a Monday and a Tuesday, day after the 4th of July. Livin Large Larry here, livinlargelarry.com. You can access our live YouTube. Live at the moment, becomes a podcast. Shortly here also the TuneIn smartphone app, working well for us. Free download for you. Your smartphones, TuneIn's TuneIn, TuneIn. Download the app, and it is free. We'll prompt you to buy extra services. You can if you want, but I use the free version of TuneIn, and it works great. So we thank you worldwide for checking us out on the TuneIn smartphone app. From the Red Line Computer Studios in West Billings, next to the Wave Car Wash. LivinLargeLarry.com.
Livin Large Larry Live from the Red Line Computer Studios next to the Dollar Tree off of King Avenue West in Billings, Montana. This is Livin Large Larry Live.
Our talk with Taylor Brown, our visit I had with Taylor from Northern Ag Network late last week about farmers and ranchers. And good follow-up from the meeting we had in Billings last week, too. Featuring innovation that's coming up before the live show here. What's going on in the meantime? Our What's Happening segment, courtesy of Petrochemical and Refinery Inspection, Bighorn Inspection. Check them out at bighorninspection.com. The Movies in the Park with Vince Kwan has taken the month of July off. So they had a good run in May and June, taking July off. The next Vince Kwan's movie in the park is August 26th. And save the date, August 26th, for Finding Nemo, final event with the Vince Kwan's at Rose Park. It's coming up August 26th. It is time now to get your foursome registered for the annual Mulligans for Memories for the Alzheimer's Association through Morningstar Senior Living in Billings. The Golf Scramble coming up on August 12th. It's the third annual Alzheimer's Association Golf Scramble. Mulligans for Memories through Morningstar Senior Living Billings. All the proceeds benefit the 2016 Walk to End Alzheimer's. The event will happen at Lake Hills Golf Course, Billings Heights, and the deadline to register is July 15th. So you want to get your foursome all signed up between now and the 15th of July for the August 12th event. Talk to Alicia at 690-8687, 406-690-8687. Coming up next month. Slide City back in Billings in September. The largest water slide fun ever seen. Back for the third summer in Billings, Montana. Slide the City. You can search them out on Facebook. Facebook.com/Slide the City. All one word. Slide the City. Their block party coming back to Billings in September. September 24th, 2016, music director Ann Harrigan kicks off the Billings Symphony Orchestra and Chorale season with Just Dance. And you can search them out. Billings Symphony Orchestra and Chorale, again, September 24th, kicks off the season this fall. Summer lunch programs continue through the School District 2, and the YMCA has their own program going as well. But the Billings Public Schools summer lunch program at many parks rotate throughout the summer through August 12th. Pioneer Park, Central Park, South, Gordon, Crow, Arrowhead Park, Castle Rock Park, North Park. Those are from noon to 1, Monday through Friday. After the summer school, after school summer lunch programs going on. Relay for Life coming up this Friday, July 8th, Billings West High Track for the American Cancer Society. Relay for Life. Get a little area at the American Cancer Society office, 1903 Central Avenue, July 8th, Billings West High Track for Relay for Life. And if I'm not mistaken, Billings, Wilson County has the 7th or 8th largest Relay for Life in the world each year. It's pretty impressive. Things get going about 5:30 or 6 at the Billings West High Track this coming Friday, July 8th with Relay for Life. And one final, what's happening around the area, the Mustache Dolls Junior Roller Derby League. The girls are having a fundraising car wash coming up this Saturday, starting until about 3 or so. Some dirty vehicles wanted. The Mustache Dolls fundraising car wash is up at Master Lube on King Avenue West. It starts at 11 o'clock Saturday. What's happening around town? What's going on? It is brought to you by Bighorn Inspection. Petrochemical and refining inspection. BighornInspection.com. How's your health? Is your mind open to different ways to be healthier? And to cryotherapy. You've heard us talk about cryotherapy since about mid-November. And into cryotherapy has been in Billings since last July. And it's growing with athletes. If you are suffering from arthritis, give N2 Cryotherapy a try. Ask Cindy Graff about the pricing differences of N2 Cryotherapy. There's something to fit your budget. N2 Cryotherapy, 805 24th Street West, Suite number 4, Saturday hours as well. N2 Cryotherapy, N2cryo.com. New season, new haircuts. If it's time, I get my haircut every 6 weeks from Jim and Austin's Barber Shop in Billings Heights at 2225 Main Street in the Heights. The best $10 haircut you'll ever have. And Jim and Austin's Barber Shop, they're trained to be barbers. Basic haircut, $10, 10 minutes in and out. Jim and Austin's Barber Shop, 2225 Main in the Billings Heights. Proud supporters of the Billings Wolves for 2016. And like them on Facebook, Jim and Austin's Barber Shop in Billings Heights. All kinds of blinds in Billings, all kinds of blindsmt.com. And our quickly temperature check, 16-1. Nice morning. The day after the 4th of July, July 5. Short work week for you, about 80 today. We mentioned probably 90s within a 5 to 7 day range of forecast. Not till late in the week, so pleasant in around Billings, Montana, Laurel, Columbus, Park City, Shepherd, Roundup. So nice weather in eastern Montana.
Livin Large Larry live from the Redline Computer Studios next to the Dollar Tree off of King Avenue West in Billings, Montana. This is Livin Large Larry live.
Eastern Montana weather and news together. Here, livinlargelarry.com as we broadcast live on YouTube at livinlargelarry.com. Redline Computer Studios, sandwiched in between the Wave Car Wash and the Dollar Store here off of King 29th West. And our forecast from Top Sandwich Company in Billings across from Shopco off of King Avenue West. And delivery, free delivery, even one sandwich. Try one sandwich delivery and catering at Top's Sandwich Company across from Shopco in Billings. Be between 80 and 90, and I'm looking long range here, the next 5 to 7 days, and the typical afternoon, late afternoon, evening thunder showers, thunderstorms on the forecast through about this next Tuesday, anyway. Top Sandwich Company across from Shopco and Billings brings you our forecast at livinlargelanguage.com. You can look at an expanded look. Click on the weather tab at the website, livinlargelanguage.com. Top Sandwich Company, happy hour Monday through Friday, 5 to 8 p.m. All sandwiches are $5 at that time. Tops Sandwich Company. Big Wolves sponsor for the playoffs coming up on Saturday at Winlock Auto Arena.
Livin Large Larry live from the Redline Computer Studios next to the Dollar Tree off of King Avenue West in Billings, Montana. This is Livin Large Larry live.
All kinds of blinds and buildings, all kinds of blinds, mt.com. Beautiful morning, July 5, here in Eastern Montana. Live from the Redline Computer Studios, livinlargelanguage.com. All kinds of blinds, mt.com. 61 clear blue, now to 80 today.
More on the Montana man killed by a grizzly. I'm Livin Large Larry. The Montana man killed by a bear near Glacier National Park was intimately familiar with both the beauty and the danger of the wild and vast forest that spreads from the shadows of the park's rugged peaks. But there was seemingly nothing that former park ranger and longtime U.S. Forest Service law enforcement officer Brad Treat could do when he surprised the bear while riding his mountain bike along a trail in that forest just minutes from his home. An Absaroka man has admitted bringing 178 pounds of methamphetamines into Montana and taking an estimated $1.4 million in proceeds back to a supplier in Arizona. Brett Wade Klaus pleaded guilty to 2 conspiracy charges involving possession of meth and money laundering. Republican Greg Gianforte, who made his fortune in the software industry, is using his wealth to help finance his bid for public office. While having a lot of cash to finance a campaign removes the burden of fundraising, it doesn't always translate to victory at the ballot box. In his bid for Montana governor, Gianforte has already given his campaign more than $500,000. 2 years ago, Matt Rosendale loaned himself more than $1.1 million in his failed bid for Montana's congressional seats. A wildfire burning on national forest land in southwestern Montana has grown to 1.5 square miles, mostly due to burnout intended to prevent the fire from spreading toward the community of Darby. Residents in 200 homes remained on notice Thursday to prepare for possible evacuation. There's 136 firefighters working the fire, and 6 aircraft are available to dump water and retardant. Barry Beach spent more than 35 years in prison for the murder of a 17-year-old Poplar girl until last November when Governor Steve Bullock signed a clemency order freeing him, and he settled in Billings running his own handyman business. Police are now investigating an allegation that 2 months after his release, he propositioned a 12-year-old girl to perform sex acts with him. Thursday, Yellowstone County Attorney Scott Twido said he could not confirm whether he is reviewing possible charges against Barry Beach. The first Bob Marshall Music Festival is scheduled for Cedar Lake, July 14th through the 16th, with more than 25 bands on 4 stages. The festival is named for wilderness legend Bob Marshall, who ended a lengthy wilderness excursion at the Cedar Lake Post Office. Sports. Coastal Carolina has become the first team since Minnesota in 1956 to win the College World Series in its first appearance, defeating Arizona 4-3. The Coastal Carolina team capitalized on 2 errors on the same play to score 4 unearned runs in the 6th inning of a game delayed a day by bad weather. Andrew Beckwith ends the season 15-1 after going 5 2/3 innings after pitching 2 complete games and picked up his 3rd victory of the College World Series. Dallas Cowboys linebacker Rolando McClain has been suspended 10 games for his 2nd violation of the NFL's substance abuse policy in as many years. The Cowboys already were entering the season without the availability of defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence and pass rusher Randy Gregory, each of whom received 4-game bans for substance abuse violations. All 3 will be allowed to participate in training camp and all preseason games. I'm Livin Large Larry.
Livin Large Larry live from the Redline Computer Studios next to the Dollar Tree off of King Avenue West in Billings, Montana. This is Livin Large Larry live.
I want to mention the fact that the Shepherd Volunteer Fire Department responded to a fire on Alkali Creek Road off Highway 3 early in the morning on the 4th of July, about 3:30. Billings fire crews were called to help put out the flames. When they arrived on scene before 4 in the morning on Monday, the fire was mostly contained. There was just a few spot crews working and mopping up, so we did have some fires over the 4th of July weekend. This one apparently started by lightning. That's still being investigated. Another fire, a Billings house fire. 3 dogs were killed in a house fire late on Saturday night. Billings Fire Department Marshal Mike Speedy said he responded to a fire at a home on Washington Street at about 8 p.m. on Saturday. Fire caused $15,000 in damages. Speedy said the cause of the fire is under investigation. No human injuries, but 3 dogs perished in that Billings house fire off of Washington Street. Red Light Computer Studios, West Billings, Montana, on YouTube Live, as we're recording right now on YouTube at livinlargeland.com. The Red Light Computer Studios. All kinds of blinds in Billings. All kinds of blinds MT.com. It'll be a nice day. About 82 in Billings today. Very nice. 62 at present. And Taylor Brown coming up. Irrigation Talk, Farmers and Ranchers on the way. Our replay sponsor on Livin Large Live is brought to you by Keystone Mortgage in their new location, 248-7124. And you can check them out and visit them at 2442 First Avenue North, then right across from the pub station in downtown Billings. Keystone Mortgage Company, you are just a number. You're our number one priority. Keystone Mortgage.
Livin Large Larry Live from the Redline Computer Studios next to the Dollar Tree off of King Avenue West in Billings, Montana. This is Livin Large Larry Live.
Thursday night in Billings, the Army Corps of Engineers held a public hearing on the draft environmental impact statement for the intake diversion dam. The result was a huge outpouring of support for fellow farmers who live over 200 miles downstream on the Yellowstone River. Taylor Brown, Northern Ag Network, was there.
It was the third and final EIS meeting held this week. Steve Davies of the Bureau of Reclamation said altogether the 3 nights drew over 900 people to discuss the Lower Yellowstone Intake Diversion Dam. As with the other 2 hearings, last night brought overwhelming support for the proposed bypass channel as a passage for fish to migrate around the irrigation weir structure in the river. Only 3 members of Trout Unlimited and the Defenders of Wildlife spoke against what the Corps said is their preferred alternative. Those groups advocate instead to remove the irrigation weir and use a massive system of electrical pumps instead of the more economical flood irrigation to water the 58,000 acres of the Lower Yellowstone Irrigation Project. One representative from American Rivers joined them, saying his organization has been involved in 200 dam removals across the nation. On the other side, 51 individuals spoke in favor of the bypass channel. Supporters included the 62 people who traveled by bus from eastern Montana, where the project is located, mostly farmers and local business people whose towns depend on the agricultural economy. When Tammy Christensen, an owner of the Case IH equipment dealership in Sydney, asked people to stand in a straw poll, I estimated that 275 people stood in support and perhaps a dozen remained seated in opposition to the proposed bypass channel.
Public comment will be accepted until July 28th to learn more about the Lower Yellowstone Irrigation Project and the arguments for and against it. We have quite a bit of information posted on our website at northernag.net.